Okay, thank you. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining this webinar. My name is Pedro Monteiro, and I am an operational excellence manager for the Alliant Group in Europe, China, and New Zealand. I also am founder and editor and single employee of the Lean Mag. I don't know if you have heard of it or not, but just when the webinar is finished, you should go there and check it out. I'm also associate founder of Yokoten.pt. It's a Portuguese benchmarking for continuous improvement, based on inquiries and surveys, and then benchmark visits. We want to share the best practices and the knowledge across the Portuguese industry. So I work with operational excellence, continuous improvement, culture, leadership, strategy, all that stuff, everything that is related to the OPEX world. So today I would like to talk to you a little bit about the power of the CI mindset. It's based in one of the most important, I think it's the most important pillar of a Lean system. Okay, and if you please. So do we have super leaders? We do, but those leaders are not superheroes. By that I mean that our leaders, whether it's at the top of the organization or middle management, they're all leaders, but they're not superheroes. They don't know everything. They don't have to do everything. They delegate. They say, no, I don't know, if they're a good leader. So a good leader has all those soft leadership skills. Some people are born with those skills, some people are not, but we can agree to disagree on that. It depends on your view of it. But a leader is also a coach. He provides guidance, support, and sets a vision for the team or for the organization. So these people don't know everything, or don't know, they don't do everything by their own. They need a team to support them and to make them get to that vision. Okay, and please, next slide. Having leaders with this continuous improvement mindset, it's about allowing your teams to grow and team members to develop themselves with a common goal in mind. The slide is not moving. Something wrong. You have to click, Andy, please.
I'm sorry.
And that giving the teams that opportunity to develop themselves is respect for people. This is the pillar I was talking about earlier. It's the most important of any Lean system, whether it's the TPS, DBS, BPS, ASTS, Allied Motion as, whatever it is. You need to have respect for people. Involve them, bring them to the work that you're doing, involve them in the strategy definition, seeking those goals, defining the breakthrough processes that you have to work on to get to those goals. And that's what we do at Alliant or Allied Motion, whatever. It's still the same. It's still not 100% change, because we still have the three groups inside of the Alliant one. We involve people from the bottom up and to the top bottom. So there is not one single approach in our organization. It's not a bottom down, and it's not a bottom up. So we tend to start up and down and meet in the middle. And that reinforces and that fosters the involvement of people and the participation in the daily continuous improvement activities, those Kaizen events that we can do, the Kaizen Blitz, Karakuri, whatever you want to call it. But we always have that principle in mind. The integrity and the respect we have for the people in our groups. That's in Alliant. That's also, this is not a sales pitch, okay? I'm just talking about my experience. This is what happens in Alliant, also on the Lean Mag, because Andrew is a contributor. He writes about twice or three times a year for the Lean Mag, and it's all about knowledge sharing and allowing people to grow. It's free. You don't have to pay anything. Just based on people's will or willingness to share the best practices, the lessons learned. You should go and check it out. Also, Yokoten. Yokoten means sharing best practices across an organization. So everything is connected here. It's another thing that we do it internally also in Alliant. We have internal benchmarking from different units, different facilities, where we share the best practices and the goals the strategic goals that were reached, and we share the success of the teams. So we all learn with the next guy next to us. And it's on our road, on our journey for the continuous improvement. We are continuously improving, but we're not operational. We're still not operationally excellent. We are on our road to get there. And again, respect for people, it's the basis of all systems. Okay. I don't want to go any deeper on this, but and the next slide, please. If we go look and see, like the Genchi Genbutsu, we can see the problems, solve problems, and improve our performance. So it's look, see, reflect, and learn. Practicing Ansei and reflect on our achievements, on our observations on a daily basis. See the problem, solve the problem, and learn from it. It's better to learn from other people's mistakes, not ours, but we can also learn from our mistakes and our problems and our actions. So doing so is part of the growing and the development process. We all grow, the company grows, the teams grow, the people grow. And that's also what PRESTO P-D-C-A does. Andrew's product does is, can you hear me? Are you listening? Can you hear what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I hear some glitches on the
we can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, good. This is it. Solving problem, seeing the problem, solving the problem, and improve our performance, dealing with all the constraints, all the difficulties, and overcoming those is how we grow. And it's involving the people, showing respect for people. That's the way to continuous improvement and to get operationally excellent. Okay. Next, please. These are my contacts where you can reach out to me in LinkedIn, through email, on the Lean Mag, or yokoten.pt for the ones from Portugal. I didn't see anyone here from Portugal, but you can always go there and check it out. I'm available for a quick chat if you'd like on the subjects of operational excellence, continuous improvement, leadership, and strategy. And I'm here today with Andrew and Chris for the webinar. But at the end, we should have some Q&A, and after that, I'm also available. Okay, thank you.
Pedro, thank you very much. Just note for the team, Pedro's. I've been part of the Lean Mag now for almost 3 years. Fantastic publications, a great networking opportunity, and if you get the bug to write and publish, contact Pedro. There might be a good spot for you on his team. Pedro, great points that you brought up. Just everybody keep those points fresh, because at the end of our software demo, we're going to be really throwing questions out there and getting feedback regarding those type of things, especially from respect for people. Fail fast, fail forward logic. I mean, the software you're about to see is all about giving power to the people, power to the process owners, power to the team leaders to feel safe, explore their knowledge portfolio, and make your company better. So again, thanks a lot, Pedro.
Thank you. Thank you.
Part two, let's talk about digital operational excellence. As Pedro mentioned, today we're going to speak about our operational excellence platform, PRESTO P-D-C-A, Plan, Do, Check, Act. I was expecting something to pop up on the screen, but there we go. So just to give you a little overview of our platform. The platform has been in the market now, as you can see, since 2016, and we could spend a good 20 minutes on each one of these stories you see here year by year. But the point that I want to make is that as an operational excellence platform, this is a solution that was built and grew together with each client, with each partner that we brought on board. So as you can see, starting off as just a process optimization tool in Milan in 2016 with a group of lean consultants who were managing a 120-person perfume bottle manufacturing organization. Presto grew into an end-to-end issue management solution together with the team from the Mahikori group in Dubai, managing 3 paper recycling plants across Dubai and Abu Dhabi. It grew as a Hoshin Kanri KPI management solution in 2019, together with PricewaterhouseCoopers and Protection Unit, an industry leader in security surveillance services in Belgium and Luxembourg. So there's a lot of really interesting stories behind how the features and the solution was developed over the years. I invite you to take a look in your downtime to our information online, or just reach out to us if you want to know more about certain pieces of the solution or case studies. But I wanted to give you visibility into how the product was developed over the course of time. So here's a bit of a case study doing 250 KPIs together with the management team of Protection Unit and training 16 team leaders to actually start implementing those KPIs in production. So once again, you can see a lot of this stuff online. Give you just a high-level overview of the product. As an end-to-end operational excellence solution, Presto has 13 dashboards. So whether you're a one-man show or whether you have 150 people in your company or even 1,000, these are the type of things, these are the type of problems that Presto solves, starting with project and task management. Doesn't matter how big or how small your company is, that is one of the first areas that you need to consider digitizing if you're going to become a scalable, growable company. KPI management, audit, and 5S. Presto does process optimization. In other words, you're cataloging processes and you're identifying waste reduction opportunities, transforming those opportunities into continuous improvement projects. And some of those will end up becoming PDCA projects, for example. Presto is a document in knowledge management portal for you to align all your documents, all your media files with processes and projects so that anybody can have access to those at any moment without having to bother any colleagues. So once again, we got 13 modules. I want to highlight to you a special offer in case you're interested in using Presto if you're not using it already. So as of next week, we're going to finally hit one of our milestones that's been on our project plan for a couple of years now, and that's to have a free version online. That's coming next week, and as you can see, that's the fifth and the first listed plan on the left side here. But then across each of these plans here, you can see we have the dashboards included. So what we're gonna really talk about today, what you see today can be completely supported by the SME package or the standard package for $19 per month per user. And today we're offering a special to anybody that's interested in this, that if in the event you want to start using our solution, we'll be happy to work with you. We'll give you 3 one-hour training workshops. So somebody from my team is going to spend 3 1-hour sessions with you to make sure that you got your whole company loaded in there exactly the way you need to have it in there. You can brainstorm with us, and even more, we're going to be available for 30 minutes for the next 12 months. So you can reach out to your personal coach, and he or she will be happy to work with you 30 minutes a month looking over what's going on. Now, of course, if you really get stuck or anything, we'll be happy to take those 30 minutes and compile them into a 1.5-hour session over the course of time, however you wish. What our goal is to make sure your experience is seamless and a positive experience. And keep in mind, everything you're about to see today will be able to put you in a position to do exactly the same thing. So in total, you can sign up for Presto for $19 a month. You can pay monthly, and you can cancel any time. So you could even just sign up for 1 month, pay $19 and say, no, this isn't for me. And we'll still kick off the consulting support as you need it. So that's the offer for today. Without further ado, let's go into part 3, which is going to be 7 reasons why your small business will fail. Very harsh way to kick off this demo today. But what we've learned over the years, when you're in technology, anybody that's works in technology or with technology, and that's probably everybody on this call knows very well, that it's best to not sugarcoat things when it comes to expectations when you're implementing a software solution in a business, because if expectations aren't aligned, it leads for a lot of excessive confusion downstream. So what we're going to talk about today, we're going to talk about how to put discipline into your business and what's at stake if you don't put that discipline in there. And what I want to highlight, our solution, it's I like to usually use this metaphor with our team, that our solution is very much like a gym membership. It's like a gym membership in a state-of-the-art gym with these new scientists and doctors that have come up with a great way and great equipment to get yourself in shape and to make yourself a lean machine. Now, of course, you can, as the famous expression goes, you can lead the horse to water, but you can't make them drink. And I think many of us on this call have bought a gym membership before and then didn't use it the way you wished you could. So, and that's what our software is about. Our software is about putting discipline in your company. But once again, we only like to work with companies that are serious to take this on. We've spent a lot of time with companies that think they want to do KPI management, think they want to do process optimization, but then find out later they're not in a position to do it. They don't have the appetite to do it. So for us, in fact, if you join us and you wanted to actually start working with us, if you wanted to up your membership by even leveraging our consulting services, we're going to do a red flag survey to make sure you're ready for such an endeavor. But I like to put that up front so you understand what you're about to see today. You get great benefits back, but you have to have a company. You got to have the mindset, and it starts from the top down. What you see here, this is our management team at Top Tactical Intelligence, makers of Presto. And what I'm going to show you in my demo before Chris does a case study in his company is how we use Presto to manage relationships. We manage relationships with staff, with clients, sales partnerships, vendor partnerships, service providers, and of course strategic partnerships that work on cross-selling our products with theirs. So what we'll take a look at today is how Presto is going to support my company and digitize our operating model. So reason number 1 that your small business could fail is your functional operating model and support roles are not clear. So what are we speaking about here? We're speaking about, well, if you're a small company and you're trying to sell yourself, whether it's to clients, whether it's to bring on board high quality talent, or whether it's to get that venture capitalist funding, what you need to do, you need to be able to tell them exactly how your company is structured. So you need to have a functional operating model. You need to have an org chart, and you need to tell what type of roles support those functions. I can't begin to tell you how many people have these small companies and they're wearing many hats, but they've never even taken the time to list those hats out and say, in this company, we need project managers, we need sales reps, we need head of marketing, those type of things. And as you start listing those things out, things become more transparent to the company on what you actually need. So taking that a step forward, Presto allows you, I like this expression that Steve Jobs says, if you want to be a continuous improvement, innovation-focused company, you need to be able to reorganize things. And that's what Presto's giving you. So here's an example. Before I show you our company, there's an org chart of a company. And you can see there's the managing director. He has his six direct reports, 6 divisions, and then they have different functional areas in those divisions. And when he lands on his dashboard, he sees himself, he sees his direct reports, he sees the number of teams that each division has, he sees the number of headcount, and he sees the number of business processes that support those teams. All of this one click away, so that he can actually go in there and see those things without even bothering anybody, without sending an email, or without calling a meeting. Presto also likes to align roles to teams and tell you when you're missing people, when you're missing roles, and you're overstaffed or understaffed. So without further ado, let's jump into the system, give you guys some visibility. Here's my company. So here you can see me. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 divisions, 5 functional areas. You can see in my company, I have 63 contacts. Some of those contacts are employees, some of those contacts are clients, some of those contacts are service providers, but we like to have these all bought very well, so that when I put my sales hat on, I'm going to go straight to our sales function and take a look at what resources I have at my disposal to work with these teams. Now here you can see our processes. So if you were to join this company today, the first thing I would ask you to do, I'd say, hey, whatever team you're on, please go in and take a look at all the processes that that team is responsible for and who works on those processes. So we'll get into that a bit, but first let's do a little bit of a navigation. So if you click on any picture, you're going straight to your org chart. You can say, okay, there I am. I'm interested right now. Let's go have a look at the business development team. There's our friend Chris, responsible for marketing, strategic sales and marketing partnerships, and top T sales. And let's go take a look at what marketing means in our company over here. So we have content management, outreach management, website and sales funnel management, SEO. We have media and publicity partnerships. Now you're probably noticing several people's faces appearing multiple times. Now that's a typical small company where you got people wearing multiple hats. And what we're saying here is that if you have a company that wears multiple hats, then it's important that you get this org chart digitized so that you can see how many times how many roles people have. 1 second, everybody. Sorry, I didn't put everybody on mute. Like I said, we don't have our webinar admin team. So whoever has could you please put yourself on mute and avoid the excessive noise? Sorry about that. So jumping to what we're going to do now, we'll jump to the marketing team just by clicking on this button here. I can see what's marketing all about. Well, you can see there's our friend Robin, and she's responsible now in the marketing function. We're responsible for 8 total people, 95 business processes. So you can see we do content management, outreach, website and sales funnel, SEO, media publications. If I want to go even further, I could go back to my org chart and navigate here. I could put people's names here and just go straight to that team just by finding somebody. So if I wanted to go jump to Chris's teams, I could do that, or I can just navigate up and down directly from here. So if I'm interested in saying, what are these 6 teams we see in outreach? If I go into outreach, you can see we have an outreach Italian, outreach English, outreach Spanish. So these are all different people, different processes. Direct social media outreach, and we have social media and company page management. That's more LinkedIn related. So once again, you're giving yourself this top-down view of your company from a functional point of view. Reason number 2, your catalog of business processes and all supporting knowledge, or also known as intellectual property, IP, is not accessible on demand. So you've started to get a flavor now of looking at the Presto dashboard. We got our processes here. So what is this all about? So it's starting very simply. Let's take a look at our system admin team, my friend Lala. So you can see he's responsible for some processes. Let's imagine I have no clue where he is in the company. I'm just going to go back to my org chart. I'm going to type in Lala's name. There he is. You can see his role is system administrator on the system admin team. So let's jump to his team, and you can see there he is. 2 people are on his team, 13 business processes. So now let's imagine, once again, you're taking over for head of product, head of IT, and you want to know, what does the system admin team do? What's Lalat's role? So let's go take a look at those 13 processes. You can see he does admin and support. He does support application management, issue resolution, and management reporting. What type of management reporting does he do? Weekly management report. He does a monthly management report. In this case here, admin and support, you can see he has the process is admin and support, 9 sub-processes. So what you got here now, you got the possibility to list your processes by the team. And if we talk about intellectual property, I'm going to close that again. You can see he's saved for us 5 documents that he wants us to know exist on his team and have accessibility to. So if I take a look, what are those 5 documents? I click on that and you can see he's given us a checklist for DNS checker. That's a special technical exercise that his team's responsible. He does cloud first CDN service, staging area, server management, a process job aid in PowerPoint, SSL certification expiration tracker. That's a user manual online. You can see from there. And we have a PDF file operating system update migration. And what you can do now, you can add documents very easily just by identifying the documents here. And then that last field you see there, that's where you link it to your shared drive. So whether you're using Google Docs, Microsoft Exchange, or Dropbox, it doesn't matter. What you do is you put the link to your shared point here. And what that does, that allows anybody to come on this dashboard. And as long as they have access to your shared point, I can come here and say, what's this PowerPoint document, this process job aid? And as soon as I click it, or actually, let's do this one. What's this PDF document for operating system upgrade? As soon as I click on it, I go straight to the shared drive and I can see the PDF document that Lalat's created for us to now go through. And of course, if you have access to it, you can work on it. So can't begin to tell you how this revolutionized our company when this function came out 2 years ago. If we take a look at all the documents, you're gonna see we have about 600 or 700 that we put on the dashboard in less than 2 years. Documents linked to processes, documents linked to projects. But this is where you can start really capturing all the key documents that you want your company to know. And you can see here, if I go back to this process over here, operating server upgrade, out of those 5 documents, that's the one that's linked to that process, the one I just showed you. Now, while we're on this, let's also talk a bit about people. You can see Lalat is highlighting that on his team, he has 4 people in our company. Now, they may or may not be in that number 2, but he has 4 people that support him. Those could, and some of those people could be me, myself, as the managing director. Could be anybody that's involved in one of these processes. And what he's telling you now, if you take a look at admin and support, I'm going to click on that 4, and he's telling you immediately, using the famous Lean Six Sigma skills matrix, he's telling you there's his sub-processes, there's operating server upgrade, and he's telling us he's an expert. And if you click on the little skills cake, you can see we have 4 levels: beginner, semi-skilled, highly skilled, expert. He's telling you my beginner means we have awareness of the process. Semi-skilled means they can perform the process with coaching. Highly skilled means they can perform the process alone, and expert means they can train others. So you can see Lalat here is an expert. We put green, meaning he's ongoing. If you put blue, I guess you're saying expert. He's done everything he can do, no more learning. But we're a continuous learning company, so we're never going to say that the job is done, as Pedro said, constantly improving. Now, if I wanted to say Lalat's having difficulty training others, I might want to give him a yellow or even a red. And now you can see here, and this feeds to a dashboard. We're not going to look at it today, but at least you get it here that he needs an update. He needs us training. So I'm going to change that back. Otherwise, he's going to get an alert message and an email saying that he's having training issues, and he's probably going to call me. So closing that. So what do we talk about? We talked about processes aligned to functions or teams. We talked about macro, micro process taxonomy, and we talked about documents that are supporting those processes, and we actually talked about competencies on each process. Once again, put yourself in the position of a new director of a company. You just joined the company. You don't know the people. You don't know the processes. You don't know what documents and what intellectual property is available. Think about how this makes your life so much easier to start being able to update yourself without having to send emails and without having to hold meetings. So that was point number 2. Let's talk about reason number 3 why your small business could fail. recurring tasks and leadership standard work is anything but standard. So those of you working in small companies, you know the pain of having processes that are not standardized, they're not automated. In other words, it feels like every time you get a request to do something, even though you've done this something 100 times, every time you do it, it's done differently. It's done by different people. Time frames are different. So one of the biggest obstacles stopping a company from being able to scale is exactly this. You're not standardized. You're working in your business. You're not working on your business. And what this means is that you can't just take something and outsource it to somebody else within the company or even externally. You're constantly responsible to micromanage it. So in this case here, let's go one step deeper into Lalat's operating server upgrade. And we're going to say to do operating server upgrade, it's a 9-step process. You can see he has it there. So going back to Lalat's workbench, I'm going to open up his 13 processes again. Administration and support. You can see operating server upgrade. And you can see he's given us 3 control step checklists. So he's given us 3 checklists that support this. Let's go take a look at one of them. So he's telling you to do this process here. These are the critical steps. So identify owners and time frame, confirm with Amazon AWS that you've received the notification, assess data fidelity. So I ask, what does that mean? So I come into here and I have a nice description. So he's put a little description here. Now, let's not forget, he's also given us a nice PDF file that explains all of this in even greater detail as a procedure. But what you're doing now, you're going step by step. And in each step, you can see he's got his RACI matrix, and he's telling you step by step who's doing this and what this step is all about. So when we speak about standard work automation, what we're really talking about, and I'm going to get to this in a couple minutes, is you're taking anything that's done systematically, whether it's once a day, once a week, once a month, or even once or twice a year, and you're putting it on a schedule. In this case here, we're going to say this process here is done on the 15th of every May. And now by doing it this way and turning on the annual scheduler, that checklist that you just saw is now going to be exported to our process management workbench dashboard, which you're about to see. So, but here's where you can actually start controlling these things. So when I go back, so by doing it this way, I got the comfort of knowing on the 15th of every May, whether Lala and his team are awake or not, this checklist is exporting to my dashboard. I'm going to see it there. And if they had fallen asleep at the wheel, somebody above them is going to see it. And it's going to go from green to red fairly quickly, depending on how you set up your triggers. Reason number 4 why your small business could fail: you are not using the RACI accountability matrix correctly. So I laid off the topic as we were going over the screens, but now you're going to see it again. Let's go back into Lalat's process. So at that process level, let's just open up the RACI matrix. We're saying to do this process here, these are the 2 people that are responsible. That's Ramesh and Deepa. Lalat's accountable. You can see there's myself and Deepa. Consulted parties, myself and Binoy, the director of product, are informed on this process. But let's take it even a step further. Going back to our checklist, you can see step number 1, identify owners and time frame. We've taken this one step further. We said this is specifically for Binoy. He's the decision maker. He's the director of their department. What about confirm with AWS that we received the notification? This time we got Lala as the responsible party, and he's keeping these 3 people informed, including myself. So as you can see, the RACI matrix allows you to start leveraging cross-departmental relationships. So even though Lalat's accountable for this process, he has people officially assigned in the RACI matrix. So what this means is that if I'm put in there as a consulted party, it's my responsibility to the organization, even if it's not my process, to be available if somebody needs me for that consultation. So you can see step by step, we got differences on who's actually responsible and accountable. And here you can actually see those steps, person by person, step by step. Now, for those of you that are used to working remotely, this will completely change the way you work with your team, because the day that I discovered this process, Lala called us and he said, we have a big problem. We need to upgrade our operating system. And I had no clue what that even meant. And I was thinking, wait a second, we're working with Amazon. Why we have an Amazon server? Why do we have to update the server? Why are you telling me it's going to be outdated? And that's where we started to get into this and realize, okay, this is a 1 to 2 year process that needs to be done. And as soon as he said, I said, oh wow, it's just another thing on our list we have to worry about. And it's something that even though you do it now, you're going to completely forget about it the next time you have to do it again. Very risky. So this is where you really start to capture know-how, get it available to people, and be ready for the next time you need the know-how. And what you do is we had a big meeting. Everybody you see in this racing matrix was in the workshop, and it was a series of workshops that took place over the course of a week. And as we went through this, the responsible people were giving us the steps. So we were building this step checklist together. And as you can see, what you can do here, you can go in, you can add steps, you can move the steps around, and then you go into each step and you put the people in here. And what happens is, as you're brainstorming online, you get this nice racing matrix step by step with everybody. And that's when you really flush out where doubts are, you flush out concerns, and you put all the information you need, whether it's in that checklist or whether it's in the uploaded documents together with your process, and you've captured it. So now I don't feel nervous in a year and a half from now when we have to do this again. At least it's going to be a good refresher that look at this before we even have the first meeting. So Racing Matrix, very important. You'll see it again in some project management activities that I'm about to show. So reason number 5, your small business could fail. You are not using Plan, Do, Check, Act properly to execute on commitments. So what you're going to see now, my company full of projects that are in different phases of the Plan, Do, Check, Act cycle. And actually, let me take that word projects back and say exercises and tasks. And what's happening now is, if you use the PDCA cycle correctly, you're able to put each task, put each exercise in the right phase that it's in, allowing the right level of management to put their eyes on it in the right moment. So, for example, if you were Mike DiMaio, head of manufacturing for the DuPont toy manufacturing, he's saying when a continuous improvement project comes my way, he's acknowledging the project and he's saying the team leader is responsible for that. Then the project gets planned where the department lead, the level of management goes up. Department lead is actually responsible to plan the task, plan the activities, plan time frame, assign ownership, approve or reject. Once that's completely planned out and the department leads have given the sign off, now the responsibility goes back to the ranks, back to the staff, back to the team leaders, and the doing gets done. But as soon as the doing gets done, you're again transferring the responsibility to the department lead to check, ensure the project was done correctly, celebrate success, and approve next steps. And then finally, the act phase, capture lessons learned, disseminate any findings, and communicate improvement opportunities to external stakeholders. And what you're getting here, you're telling the department lead, you're accountable to make sure that if you learned anything, that the other departments see this. This is a phase that gets neglected time and time again, companies across the globe, big or small. So here's an example. We have a continuous improvement opportunity to reduce defects on the circuit board assembly at the DuPont toy manufacturer. And you can see phase by phase, you got Anna Lipolis, who's the team leader, responsible, but then when it gets planned, she steps out of the way and lets senior management take the responsibility to plan the project correctly with her as a consulted party. So her being the expert, the planning, counting on her inputs. But then once they've given the go-ahead, there's Anna and her team, 2 responsible people to reduce the defects. On my team, what I'll show you now, you can see here's an example of how this is a bit old. We don't do this like this anymore, but I'll just, as an example, you can see when we do client prospecting, onboarding for online demos, you have a certain group of people who are validating the lead, planning the demo, but then giving the demo. We have another group of people following up and then closing the deal with the client. Now, this is special demos for online sales, not enterprise clients. Obviously, if we're working with an enterprise client, the sales process is a bit more complex than this. But to give you an example of that now, let's go jump to to business development. So you can see here we are. Actually, let me go straight to in here. So we'll go to the customer success team.
I'm out. Oh, yo, sir.
Okay. So what you see now, I mentioned earlier, we got 13 dashboards in Presto. Right now, you're looking at the task dashboard. Here, the other dashboards: issue management, process waste management, document management, asset management, KPI management, ideation, transversal skills, IT application management, audit management, risk management, process competency management, and endorsements. So in this case here, we're looking at project and task management. These are the project types that we have. So what I'll do now, let me go to the actual sales team, which is under, not in operations, it's actually under sales itself. So I'm gonna type it in. And now you can see here, we'll go straight to the sales team. Let's imagine we have an online request for a demo. So what I'll do now, I'm going to add an activity. Now you can see these are the different Kanban boards we've built in this company. So we have Kanban board for issues, Kanban board for product customizations. That's what the developers use. When there's a bug, that's what they use. Customer complaints, waste management, sales pitches. In this case here, we'll do a client demo. So first I'm going to assign this to a team leader. In this case, it's the head of sales, just myself. Client demos is the Kanban board, and it's a productivity. So let's imagine I have a demo with BMW tomorrow, BMW client demo, Stuttgart. Okay. Save that. And now officially opening up my plan, do, check, act sales cycle. So you can see here now, going back to my slide, I've set up my RACI matrix and I've set up my plan, do, check, act cycle with these preloaded tasks. So whenever I'm doing client demos, BMW client demo, we're acknowledging that the demo is taking place, confirm the client's interest, identify which client resources will be available, update the playbook. And these are the people that are responsible in the RACI matrix. So you can see, and as you can see, we're very adamant of teaching what RACI means to companies that don't use it. These are the people planning, and these are the tasks. This is the doing, this is the checking, and this is the acting. Now, obviously, this is very raw, but what you're going to do, you're going to come in here and you're going to start adding dates. You're going to start ticking boxes saying things are done, things are behind, and this becomes a full-blown project plan. But once again, you can see this is our framework to do a demo to a customer, understand what the customer needs, and then make an offer and sign it. And this has been working out for us for over 4 years, just this logic you see here. So really quick, I don't want to steal Chris's thunder. Reason number 6, your strategic vision is not clear to your staff. So let's go to the top of the company. Now, what do I mean when I say strategic vision? I mean, I'm talking about strategy deployment. Now, in this company here, without going into too much detail, first thing I'm going to do right now, you see my dashboard. This is the project that I just booked that you saw, and this project is BMW client demo Stuttgart. If I click on it, I go straight in there. So now the reason why you only see one little project on this board is because I have a filter on saying, show me everything that was open today. Now show me everything. So now here is all my open projects. You can see in P-D-C-A view, these are my open projects. So now speaking of P-D-C-A, you can see out of all these 600 plus projects, 275 are in the acknowledge phase, 357 are in the plan phase, 107 are in the do phase, 13 are done and they need to be checked and closed, and 4 are in the act phase. So, every day when I close for the day, I go straight to the do and just figure out what am I going to be doing tomorrow. And I put on the P-D-C-A report, and I can say, if I take a look at let's take a look at finance, legal, and business administration. We got 4 projects overdue. Open that up, and you can see these are the 4 projects. They're all in the due phase. They're all overdue from the 5th of September, 22nd of August, 16th of August, 16th of August. If we're having a big meeting next week with the board of directors, we're interested in knowing why these 357 projects are still being planned and they haven't been pushed into the due phase. And you can see if I were to go take a look at these 10 projects in business development that are overdue, you can see they're all in the plan phase. This allows you to really start focusing in on what you should be working on. Like I said, when I close for the day, I'm looking at the do stuff. So I know tomorrow morning I hit the ground running, I'm doing these things. When I have my empire builder hat on and we're meeting with the board and the directors, we're talking about planning. When we have our innovation hat on and we want to talk about ideas, we're looking at things that have been acknowledged, but we haven't decided if we're going to do them or not. This is your idea hopper. So going back to the discussion about strategy, I'm going to off filter. Here we have our 8 strategic initiatives for the year. Those of you who know us, you know we're launching a mobile app. We're automating our online help desk. We're increasing closing success rate on enterprise deals. We're positioning PRESTO P-D-C-A as a unique daily work management solution, improve customer success, find an investor to scale up support, enhance automate market and lead generation, and automate Presto's online subscription model. So if I select any one of those, you're getting a list per strategic initiative. If I click this button, I get everything that's in the dashboard. So you can see, what are we doing to automate Presto's online subscription model? These are the projects that are supporting it. And you can see they're all in different phases of the plan, do, check, act cycle. Last but not least, reason number 7, your KPI reporting is not available in real time and or aligned to your strategy. We're not going to spend a lot of time talking about KPI management, but I'm going to take you now to the KPI dashboard. And you can see we've looked at the project management dashboard. Now we're looking at the KPI dashboard. And an example here is my friend Nancy, who works with our client in Senegal, Free Senegal. She wants to know, how many hours have we spent dedicating ourselves to this client, Free Senegal. So if you take a look, let's jump to this is operations. So this is customer success team. So I put myself. So there's Vanni, he's our COO officially. Innovation and R&D management. So let's talk about, I'm going to jump straight to the COO's team. So now you can see, this is where we have all our clients. So we have 25 key people that are working with us on client relationships. That a lot of this doesn't include the online client, small clients that we acquire. But let's go down a level. So you can see we have clients in North America, Latin America, UK, Middle East, Africa, and APAC. So in this case here, we're interested in taking a look at our African clients. So you can see we work with Free Senegal, there they are. And now we want to know, how much time have we spent with them over the course of the year? And these are the KPIs I'm using. So you can see not all clients I have KPIs with. Sometimes it's necessary, sometimes it's not. But with Free, if I open this up, you can see we have 4 KPIs that we're using with them. So we're tracking number of hours that we worked with them, number of, we have a KPI that says we want to dedicate at least 30 minutes a week having some type of conversation or meeting with them. That's not to be confused with us working behind the scenes for them. Number of incidents, number of misunderstandings or disagreements, very important if you want to have a non-confrontational discussion with a client, a staff member, or a vendor on how to make your relationship better. And the number of customer complaints. So if I come in here, I can say number of hours worked for Free over the last 12 months. And what you see here now, you can see the last 12 months, I've worked a total of 50 hours with Free. And you can see month by month, or we have, depending on who's working with them, they put the number in there. What about how many minutes we've spent with them in meetings? We spent 1,400 minutes over the last 12 months. Number of misunderstandings. So you can see these are where something didn't take place the way we wished. And now keep in mind, this is not saying that there's a misunderstanding, we're pointing a finger. Once again, respect for people. If I make a mistake, I would also put it here and say there was a misunderstanding today. But if you want to know what the misunderstanding is, I come to my Pareto chart, and you can see immediately in the last year, 37% of our misunderstandings related to postponement of agreed commitments, 33% related to delaying communication or response, 12% was a cancellation of agreed commitment, and so forth. So a very good way to get your team focusing on commitments and to understand and get up on the table in the right moments, the root causes to chronic issues that you think you can improve together with people. So that's about it from my side for today. I'm going to remind you, everything you saw today You can buy online in a monthly subscription for $19 a month. And if you buy today and you highlight to us that you are part of this webinar, we'll be happy to give you 9 complete hours over the course of the year to make sure your company looks exactly as you saw my company here. So Chris, sorry I stole some of your time, but I did want to get to that 7th one. I'm now going to hand this over to Chris, who's going to show you how he used Presto to get his company certified in ISO 9001.
Thanks, Andrew, and good morning, good afternoon, everybody. Andrew, can you enable screen sharing, please? And I'll
yeah, you should be able to.
I'll pinch the screen from you. Not yet, no.
Okay, got it. There you go.
Okay, so I will just share my screen and I will talk you through this quite quickly. So hopefully you can see my slides here. So I started looking into how I could get us accredited under ISO 9001, 14001, and 45001 back at about sort of 6 to 9 months ago. But I didn't want to do it through the standard way of a consultancy helping me and throwing me loads of Excel spreadsheets and Word documents. I wanted to explore something a bit more digital than that. So having worked with Andrew before, we started having a look to see what what we could do, and I started doing a bit of research. So from a business point of view, very quickly, so we're a business, an operational excellence consultancy. One of Andrew's lovely diagrams there that I stole many years ago, but stabilize, optimize, transform businesses. We do bits around business intelligence and data, people development and sustainability. So we work in the operational excellence space. So I wanted to be able to demonstrate to customers, this is the way that that you can operate digitally in this new world that we're in. So, and this is the challenge. I wanted to implement an integrated management system, but I wanted it to be digital, and I wanted to achieve accreditation of the three key standards. So what I did was I started looking into what are the key topic areas for an integrated management system. And the way that the ISO standards work now is that there are certain chapters within the system that are aligned across all standards. So chapter 4 is always context of the organization and so on. So I used that as the framework of what I was trying to achieve, and then broke it down a bit further to have a look at, well, okay, what is in each of those sections of the documents, what sort of things do I need? How am I going to demonstrate leadership, planning, support, and so on and so forth? So I use that as the framework, and then working with Andrew was looking at, well, okay, how can Presto help me support that? When you look at the 13 dashboards within Presto, when you look at the fact that you can put your org chart in there, you can build your processes in, actually using Presto as a digital business management system enabled me and enabled Adastra to pull it all together, but moving away from Excel spreadsheets, Word documents, and so on. So what I'll do is I'll go into my Presto and show you quickly. We've only got 5 minutes left, so I'll zip through this fairly quickly, but I'll show you how we went about it. So the first key thing really is the org chart. So as Andrew alluded to earlier on, SMEs have some faces filling many roles. So Emily, who's on the call somewhere, has 3 roles within the organisation. But it allowed me to put the org chart in. It allowed me to build the structure of our organisation into Presto and demonstrate that to the ISO auditors. And then also I started off with a spreadsheet with our process groups and our macro processes and our micro processes and so on. But actually what it allowed me to do was build those into Presto. So those same processes there are assigned to people in the organisation structure, and they're all processes, they're all documented and captured for the future. Then what I received from our auditors, the guys helping me prepare for the audit, was a pre-audit checklist. So what I did then was I used Presto, and I built that pre-audit checklist into the audit function from within Presto. And there were a selection of about 40 questions from memory, I think it was. So build and doing an audit of doesn't meet, partially meets or meets. And I could look at that and get a report that says, okay, numbers 1, 7, 12, or whatever it might be. these are the ones that we're not meeting currently. So it allowed me then in the month or two, myself and Emily went through this month or two before the final audit, and we could knock off the ones that we had to improve on. What it also allowed me to do at this stage was the ones that we didn't have, we could use the functionality from within Presto to raise NCRs, non-compliances, that we could record against, and we could then build ourselves some projects to correct. So going into the sort of project and task management module here, we did an internal audit, and we raised 3 NCRs against ourselves. One was around customer complaints process, one was around supplier management, and one was around training needs. And so from having done the audit, we put these into the system, review the NCR, develop an improved tool, sign off the NCR, and there's some follow-up we've got to do before we close these out. What it also allowed us to do using the knowledge management function from within Presto was, if I go to documents, this is actually the internal audit report that I raised, saved on our SharePoint system. There's the internal audit report stating what the NCR is all about. So I've got a direct link through to that from within the project itself as well. So the upshot of all of this was we had the audit a couple of months back, and when the auditor came round, they expected me to show them all of these things in spreadsheets and Word documents, and I showed them from within Presto. So not something he'd seen before, but we passed. So actually, you know, we have got those 3 standards now. So that's short and sweet. Appreciate we've only got a couple of minutes left, so I hope that's okay. But yeah, it absolutely worked a treat. Thank you.
It's, yeah, fantastic. Yeah, it's really impressive. And I'll highlight, a lot of people, they look at Presto and the first thing they're asking us, oh, how do you map processes? Well, your cataloging processes. As Chris showed you, you can attach documents that are very rich, very detailed to those processes. So what we would ask anybody that's interested in process mapping will say, yeah, we'll get those, your processes cataloged on your board, but then you can use whatever solutions you like to do your process flow diagrams, your value trains, and then map them to your teams, map them to the process.
I guess I'll speak up. Awesome the way everything is pulled together and it all works. You kept repeating Word documents, spreadsheets. That's kind of been the life I've been leading, and it's hard to stay on top of everything. The way this all pulls together and you can drill down is very good, and great examples.
What type of business are you working in?
I just left an EV charging company in the US, but I'm going back to medical device. Where, you know, it's a regulated industry, it's getting audited regularly, and I've never having to face the FDA and ISO auditors. I've never had anything like this to use that would be a hell of a lot easier to explain. And I think, kind of to Chris's point, when they come in looking and you show, you know, one of the things about an auditor is being an auditor also, if you press and you push right through them, you sense blood in the water and it can get ugly quick. If you push and you've got answers and data and you've got your history of your audits and your non-conformances and your corrective actions, boy, you slow them down and change the whole attitude of the audit.
Yeah, if you show, I get what you're saying. If you show them you're on top of things, then you're going to be the one driving the narrative. By the way, in the US, we have our biggest client is in health services, and just recently, in the last 2 years now, we started working with a pharma company in Sweden. We just started working with a 40-employee startup disease control center in India. And we have, and potentially there's another opportunity in India from health services as well. So in the feedback from all of them comes from a knowledge management point of view. Most clients like the KPI module, they like the project management module, but from a knowledge management point of view, If you have a leadership team, in my opinion, that completely understands what's at stake at knowledge from a knowledge retention point of view, if they understand that it's no longer acceptable to have single people in the company that only know how to do a certain thing, that's when you can really start seeing the magic of the solution. Was that, by the way, was that Paul?
Yes, yes.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
No, thank you. How about some more questions or feedback? Anybody see anything any doubts? Challenges? Interesting. Okay. All right. Nobody else has anything else to say. We are recording this. We're going to send this out shortly. And again, welcome to have you join our team if you're interested in using the solution. And by the way, if you just want to give it a 14-day trial, you're welcome to do so. The KPI module is not available on the 14-day plan, but if you go online right now, you can sign up for, I think it's called the Scout module. You can get 14 days of Presto completely free. So feel free to reach out to myself or Chris if you're interested in seeing a demo or if you have more questions. Hold on one second. I see an extra question in the... Okay, I have to run. Very good. That was Andrew from Cuban. Okay.
Not a good question.
Pedro, you had something to add?
Not really.
Okay.
Not really. Just what I spoke about in the beginning is all related to this respect for people and involvement and open communication, horizontal, not only vertical. And I think that the PRESTO P-D-C-A and all the products that you have available are aligned with the lean methodologies and the lean thinking. So,
yeah.
And if you had more questions or more discussion, we would be here the whole afternoon talking about this stuff.
That's for sure. There's 13 dashboards, so we could probably do a half-day workshop on each of them. So it's not going to do through that. But Pedro, again, thanks for a great presentation, bringing up some great topics and integrating yourself with us. Chris, did you have anything else you wanted to add?
No, not at all. Just to, as Pedro said, to extend, if anybody ever wants to talk about any of this at all, then please feel free to get in touch. Be more than happy to speak to anybody. So always good to network and share. So,
and by the way, Chris's company, Adastra, they're very famous for Hoshinkanri strategy deployment. So if you're exploring strategic initiative modeling and cascading initiatives into team level KPIs, Chris is definitely the person you should speak to. All right, everybody, it was a pleasure. Thanks again for your participation, and hope we'll be doing a webinar at least once, probably twice a month. So please follow us. We're delighted to see you here. Thank you again, and have a good rest of the week.
Thank you.
Good one. Bye-bye. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Thank you to you for this presentation.
Our pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.
See you later.